In today's Script Tip for Actors video, I want to talk about slates. How to make them, how to edit them, the do's and the don'ts. But before I do, if I could have you please like and subscribe to the channel, it would really help me out. Or better yet, if you'd like to share it on your page, help spread the word and help grow the page, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so slates. It's very interesting. I see so many actors get tripped up over the slate, as if they're more nervous about it than the audition itself. For those of you who don't know what a slate is, it's usually where the casting director asks you to look into the camera separate from your audition and give some information about yourself, like your name, sometimes your height, these types of things, where you're located. And then they usually will want to see like a full body shot of some kind. So why does casting want us to do slates? Well, there can be a variety of reasons. One, it can be to find out how to pronounce your name correctly, or to get to see a little bit of your personality, or for a chance to get to see you on the day. Make sure you still look like your headshot and you're not a middle-aged person still using your 20-year-old headshot. There are a variety of reasons. So exactly what casting is going to want you to say will differ depending on the casting director or the project itself. But usually it'll say name, height, location, availability for the shoot date, something like that. They'll want that essentially in a kind of a close-up, similar to the framing I currently have. Then they'll want you to zoom out into a full body. There are some casting directors who still want you to do the pan tilt. I prefer not to do these. It feels awkward, and my camera operator is always a little janky, and it always manages to get stuck on this area, and it's awkward for everyone. Others will do their audition, take a beat, and then do their slate. If you're doing a self-tape from home, I'll just say you have the luxury of making them separate shots. So I will do my scene, then I will stop recording. I will start recording in basically the same framing. I will say my name, height, location, availability, whatever it is casting's asking for, and then I will stop recording. I will zoom out and get it all set up for a full body, and then I will hit record for my full body. And full body only needs to be 3 seconds, 4 seconds max. Nothing fancy. Now, if you're like me, you have set up some type of studio with lights and some type of neutral backdrop. If you want to check out how to light your audition setting or your self-tape studio in general, like what you need, I have videos for those. So please check out my page and check out some of my other videos. But also, if you're like me, this is not what the whole wall looks like. And if I zoom out all the way, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff. It's a mess in here. So if you're anything like me and your situation is similar, when you zoom out for that full body, you might be concerned about casting seeing all of this stuff. Something that I do is before I drop this file, the full body file, down into the timeline, I'll be editing with iMovie, by the way. So if you are using a program different from iMovie, you can kind of just troubleshoot the end result and on Google or something, and they'll be able to probably guide you along. But this is the idea anyways. Before you drop it down into the timeline, so while it's still in the imported media section, you can crop it. So I crop in the sides. Now this will give you black bars on the sides, and I know we're told never to do black bars. That's more prominent for your auditions than it is your slate. It's not as important. And to me, I think it just looks cleaner. So something that I do is I will hit that crop button. If you don't know what that looks like, those are the two intersecting lines making a shape of a box. You click on that, then you hit crop, and from there you see the outline of a box that you can bring in. So I will bring it in onto the sides until I have just this blue backdrop and me, my full body, and then I hit the check mark. Now I'm good to go. I bring that down into the timeline. I transition from my dialogue of my name, height, location, availability, whether I'm willing to shave, all that kind of stuff if cast. I will take that, then I will do a transition, a fade in, fade out from black, go into my full body, and then I will fade out. Now, there's another way I've heard is starting to kind of pick up as a favorite way of how to do your slates or edit your slates as well. I know a lot of people in New York are currently doing this. It's where you kind of do a split screen. So people are seeing your full body and the dialogue section of your slate at the same time. And the simple way to do this is same thing after you bring it down into the timeline now. So you'll drop it from your imported new media down into the timeline. You will take your full body, put it over top of your dialogue portion, and then you will go into the button left of that crop option, and you'll have a drop-down menu that'll come up. You'll select split screen. So once you hit split screen, it should split your screen. If they're not in the right order, I prefer dialogue left, full body to the right. So I'll just swap those around, and then you are good to go. Same setup. I fade into my slate and I fade out of my slate. Earlier I mentioned how a lot of actors seem to get tripped up during slates. My working theory as to why, because everyone knows their own name, they know where they live, they know how tall they are, right? It shouldn't be that hard. My working theory as to why that is because they no longer are playing pretend. They have to be themselves talking to the camera, and that can get in people's heads a little bit, freak them out. And what I want to just say is this. From the casting directors that I've spoken to, worked with, gone to workshops for, all of that, there are a variety of reasons or levels of value that they place upon slates. Some say they don't even look at it at all. They don't care about it. It literally exists for posterity's sake. Others will say, yeah, it's a great chance for them to get to see your personality. Some will even ask for, 30-second stories about yourselves. So they all place different weight or value on the slates. Some not at all, some a little bit. But one thing that's usually universally true, they are not going to make a real casting decision simply based on your slate. It is going to be made ultimately on your performance and if you are right for the role. So really, I hope that helps take the pressure off of the slate for you guys just a little bit. It exists mostly for posterity's sake, at most for an opportunity for the casting director to just get to see a little bit of your personality shine through. But that's really about it. My advice ultimately with slates would be stick to what the casting director is asking for. Don't do more than what they are asking for. All right, they're going through a lot of tapes, through a lot of auditions. They might have multiple projects that they're casting. They're doing a lot of work. They don't want their time wasted. They don't want more than what they asked for, at least in terms of something like slate. I hope all of this information has been helpful. I assume if you've made it this far into the video, it has been helpful. You've enjoyed the content. If so, what would really be helpful for me is if you liked the video, subscribe to my channel, and even share the video with some of your friends or acting friends or classmates. Really help the channel grow. That's what I'm currently trying to do. I'm trying to make these videos every week. And on that subject, I'd love to hear what are some questions you have about auditioning or the audition process or acting in general, or some things or areas that you struggle with that you'd like to ask me about. I'd love to make a video on any of those topics and be able to answer those questions for you. Also, please check in the description below ways to reach me. I coach privates. I do self-tapes if you're in the Southeast area and you need a studio. And also, I teach script analysis at the Hood School of Acting. You can go to thehoodschoolofacting.com and sign up for classes. Thanks, guys, so much. I really hope you enjoy this video of script tips, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.